quite enjoyed letting that play out. Anyway, enough about the intro. Stop talking about the intro. It's Masters week. It is Thursday of the Masters as you are listening to this, or it might be later on. It might be Friday, it might be Saturday, it might be Sunday, or the Masters might be over at this point. I mean, you already know who won. But how exciting is this? Literally, as I'm recording this, I have on Sky Sports Golf on the Monday night, live at the Masters. How many events in the calendar of sports in general have quite the build-up like the Masters? It is unbelievable. Right now, I'm just watching guys warm up for a practice round. And I'm so excited. It's so good. It's so good. Unbelievable. What a week. What a week. And right now, as you're listening to this on Thursday, it is upon us. It is happening. And what I wanted to do for a Masters preview, which, like I said, I'm recording Monday night. If anything happens between now and then, kind of is what it is, right? But what I wanted to do is kind of do like a preview, give thoughts on who the top 10 could be, who the potential winners could be, and what to sort of expect from those players. Because it's difficult, right, with a field of that size to really know where to focus in on. And truly, you don't know that until sort of post-cut, really. Or at least leading up to the cut of the guys that are pushing towards the top. Obviously, it's incredibly disappointing not to have Tiger. Like, we all know that. I've stayed away from the Tiger discussion because I felt a lot was being said that didn't need to be said before facts had come out. Now that we have a bit of a clearer picture of what was going on, I think it's fair to say that, you know, like everyone, wish Tiger a full, healthy recovery from what clearly is an addiction issue that he's got to pain medication. It's no particular surprise. The opioid epidemic that is going on is horrific. I think over here in England, we don't maybe realise it as much, or at least it's not talked about as much. But in America, it's a huge problem, and it's no surprise with Tiger being in as much pain as he is and as desperate as he is to get back to the thing that he knows, his comfort zone, that's golf. That obviously he took a lot of medication that was very difficult to come off of and is addictive in nature to not feel the pain of the injuries that he's had that have really destroyed the latter half of his career. That being said, going out in a car and putting other people's lives at danger, or in danger, is never acceptable on any front, and no one can support that. And I'm sure Tiger is perfectly aware, as he sort of said in his statement, that he just needs to take some time out to get better now, to not commit the same mistake again. So yeah, it's obviously gutting not to have Tiger there. It's gutting not to have Phil there. I think that's going to be a huge loss, actually, because always plays well at the Masters, always entertaining, and just such a stalwart of Augusta National, you know. And it'll be a real shame for him not to be there. So yeah, we're gonna have obviously leading up to the McIlroy Masters dinner, the much awaited McIlroy Masters dinner, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes down, if there's any interesting conversations that goes on there. But generally, I think other than when LIV first broke out, there's just really not that much beef there anymore, is there? It's just guys earning a lot of money playing a game that they love, and just enjoying each other's company for one evening, and to obviously celebrate Rory McIlroy and the career Grand Slam that he achieved. So moving on from that, we then get to the tournament, we get to the good stuff. Obviously, you got the par 3 contest before. It'll be interesting to see who takes part this year, who doesn't take part this year, all the sort of conspiracies and what's it called? I can't think of the word now. It's left my mind. Guys not sure whether they want to take part or not because it's going to interfere with them winning the tournament or not. I mean, it all goes on. Guys are so desperate to get that green jacket, it's no surprise. What I've done is, for the prediction for the tournament, is broke it down into 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of 5, 6 parts, essentially. And we'll just run through it. And what I've done, I use like data models to kind of work out who your likely top 10 is going to be based off of historical data current form and Augusta-specific requirements, because it is a specific golf course. It was described that Bryson originally thought you could just hack it around Augusta. You could cut corners, hack it out the rough, all those sort of things. He said it was actually more like a par 60, was it 65 or something? He said it was going to be more like, and he's proved wrong on that. Still hasn't won it. You need a scalpel, right? You cannot just go at it with an axe. It's a very, very intricate course that requires a specific game to conquer it. So we're going to take all those things into account, okay? And we're going to look at Augusta history, which is a very high weight to it. Recent form, so the last 6 to 10 PGA Tour / sort of live starts. Elite ball striking metrics, approach statistics on that. Major pedigree, OWGR tier, and 5 course fit indicators, par 5 scoring and scrambling, because that's where it's very important at Augusta. So lesser known players must have both a strong 2026 form and be Augusta proof. Because, I don't know if he's actually there or not. I didn't check. But because of the fact he hasn't played it before, someone, or not, at least not appeared in the top half of playing it or noticeable, like Rio Hisatsune, has an unbelievable start to the year. But is he Augusta proof? Probably not. So his name would be taken out of the equation. You can see how it's going to work. Okay. Key current form signals, PGA Tour and Global. So, elite form players. You've obviously got Scottie Scheffler. He's still number 1 in the world. He's a consistent top finishes. That's basically what he does, isn't it? He is a top 5 player, even when he doesn't have it. You've seen it already this year. That's with the distractions of obviously his wife being pregnant, and all of that. They've just obviously welcomed their second son, who's only 9 days old at this point. So all those factors need to be taken into account. But Scottie is always going to be a problem for everyone else. Scottie's worst play tends to be a top 10 finish. Like, that's how good he is. So he's going to be a factor. Rory McIlroy. He's defending champion. He's had strong early season results, like pretty decent results. And Augusta sort of history. And now weight off his shoulders, he's coming back to it. So Rory McIlroy will be a factor. Be interesting to see how he does, because he obviously had the shoulder injury. Is it fully healed? Is he okay? And will all the media distractions of the week take him away from what could be a historic week for him if he gets it right? 2 wins in a row after that long waiting. That'd be unbelievable. Cam Young, Players Champion, World Top 3, just banging form, and such an elite ball striker that you can see him being a factor around Augusta. Corey Connors, multiple 2026 top 10s already. So he's playing very, very well. And let's not forget, did very well last year at the Masters as well. At least top 10 finish. I think we're going to get to that a bit later on. And Russell Henley is another one to point out. He's got unbelievable consistency, high in the OWGR rankings, just never far away from it. So there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to look at. And then we're going to look at LIV as well. We're going to expand it to LIV. We're not just going to ignore LIV, because you've got Jon Rahm, who I think hasn't finished outside like the top 3 so far of this LIV season, with a couple of wins as well. I think that's right, at least one. Been unbelievable. Been in banging form. Masters champion. Oh, excuse me. Little sneeze. Stop the camera from following me all around the room. Jon Rahm, consistency has been an issue since he's gone to LIV. He seems to have found that form now, and obviously has Augusta pedigree. And Bryson DeChambeau, he's trending in majors generally. Like he obviously won the US Open. He came pretty close. Obviously, he was in the final group with Rory for last year. Just kind of fell away a little bit, but he seems to be working out the golf course. And with that power, and his drive and determination that he no doubt has, and the popularity that he's received over the past sort of like few years, he has pedigree. Augusta wise, he hasn't solved the issue of Augusta yet, but he's getting closer. And you can see him sort of putting the pieces together. So recent PGA Tour form or live form only matters if paired with Augusta fit. That's what we've taken into consideration there. That's why Connors and Henley make it, but there's some others that don't. Hisatsune, for instance. Now let's look at Augusta specialists. Now these players consistently gain strokes at Augusta. That's what they do across the field. Xander Schauffele, he's got elite consistency. He's actually finding some amazing form at the minute. And he's got multiple top tens at Augusta. He has Augusta pedigree. He's an Augusta specialist. It's a critical part of the equation. So Xander's in there. Hideki Matsuyama, obviously past Masters champion. He's only one missed cut in the last 14 starts. So that's consistency. That shows that he's certainly solved the issue of the big score at Augusta that seems to trouble a lot of players. So Hideki's going to be up there. Fantastic, unbelievable ball striker. Are we going to see the club thrown from his hands despite it landing the middle of the green? I hope so. I look forward to it. You got Corey Connors again appearing in this one. Repeat top 10 performer at Augusta and obviously in good form at the moment. And Rory McIlroy, constantly in contention pretty much over the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. Got it done last year, but has always just kind of felt like he's had that weight on his shoulders of getting it done. That's gone now. He knows Augusta like the back of his hand. I think Jack Nicklaus said, like, this course is set up perfectly for Rory. He's just got to learn to play it the right way sometimes. And we might be able to see that. This might be an unbelievable run that Rory goes on at Augusta. Maybe. Not easy. Okay. Number 4. Tiered top 10 model. Okay, so tier 1 is your high probability for top 10. Okay, so we've got Scottie Scheffler, high probability, Rory McIlroy, Jon Rahm, and Xander Schauffele. What do you think to that? Would you, if you were looking at that and thinking who ticks all the boxes in this field for a top 10 finish? Scottie, Rory, Rahm, Schauffele. I don't think it's wild, is it, to think that they're going to be there on Sunday evening. That's your safest core, let's say. Okay. Tier 2, strong top 10 contenders. Now, this is elite form that they might be having currently, or they've got a really strong Augusta record. Okay. Bryson DeChambeau, Cameron Young, Ludwig Åberg, who we failed to mention up until this point, and Hideki Matsuyama. I'd like to throw another one in there as well, actually, that I think's been excluded and a bit unnecessary. Patrick Reed. The guy has that criminal-like smile going on the whole time. He knows Augusta so well, always generally plays very well, came quite close last year to causing a bit of an upset, and just enjoying his life at the minute, back on the DP World Tour, PGA Tour prospect, obviously, for next season, ready to go back in. It just kind of feels like it could be a Patrick Reed type year. So I'm going to add that to the elite form and strong Augusta record because of the DP World Tour form as well. Now, there's tier 3, which is validated PGA Tour form plus an Augusta fit. So not necessarily like elite form, but good enough, and they kind of fit Augusta. You've got Corey Connors, Russell Henley are included in that. Okay, so they're your next ones down. Now, these are the bit of a wild card picks. Okay, Minwoo Lee, he's got very good form at the moment, playing very, very well. But he does have a kind of limited Augusta history. You look at someone like Minwoo, the power that he has, the precision that he has, able to hit that low shot as well and sort of play all these different shots. Unbelievable technician of the golf ball, really. But is he able to deliver at a place that requires sometimes just taking your medicine? Sometimes just playing the course as intended rather than gouging it out? Could be interesting. And Shane Lowry is another guy as well. His form is very, very good at the moment. He's just kind of not quite got that over the line sort of feeling. But his short game can be volatile at times, right? He's had some issues, and what it feels like when Shane goes on these dips, it's kind of difficult to see him sort of coming back out of it. It's so strange, isn't it? Because you look at him in the Ryder Cup, and he kind of has such a strength to the way he does things, and sort of a real leader of that team. Sometimes it looks like when he's playing in these solo events, it just gets away from him at times. It's such a shame because he's such an unbelievable elite ball striker, but it just feels like he hasn't quite put it all together. Could this week be the week that he puts it all together? I hope so. It'd be fantastic to see Shane do it. But is he a likely top 10 contender? You'd probably say not as much as the rest of the guys that have been mentioned. And maybe that's harsh. We've got some explicit exclusions going on, okay? These were deliberately not included despite their talent. Colin Morikawa, obviously we've got the injury concerns going into it. I don't know at this point if Colin's actually definitely teeing it up this week. Should have probably checked that. Let me know. I will know by now. I'll either look silly or it'll be still a topic of debate. Should probably check it. Could definitely check it right now, but I'm not going to. Just to wind you up. Akshay Bhatia, okay? He has been on a run like this year. He is looking unbelievably good. They've got Joe Griner on the bag, and they just look like such a great team together. But he doesn't have a sufficient enough Augusta track record right now. Now, he could prove me completely wrong and have an unbelievable week. And again, hope he does. Seems like a fantastic guy. Great for the tour to have another young player performing really, really well. But Augusta, you need to know what you're doing. And actually, not quite got that sort of pedigree at this moment in time. So that kind of leads us to our final projected top 10. Okay, I've tried to take in as much data as possible. I've used a little bit of AI help to kind of get things more rounded. It doesn't always get things right, but guess what? Neither do I. So, is what it is. Is what it is. But this is our top 10. If you've been living under a rock, then you wouldn't have heard of the ShotScope LM1. But if you're like the normal person, the normal golfer, then it is anything anyone can talk about is the LM1 and how exciting it is for average golfers, everyday golfers, to have a launch monitor in their bag. And the LM1 is coming soon. So make sure you're heading over to ShotScope. Make sure you're hitting the link, which is in the episode description right now, so that you can be first in line, ready to get hold of that very special portable launch monitor. Also, whilst you're there, check out all the products that ShotScope have to offer. Their watches, their incredible handheld GPS devices, the club tracking, everything that they've got there is unbelievable. So make sure you're heading there. You get 15% off site-wide by using the code Birdie Golf Club. So click the link in the description. It helps out the podcast. We really appreciate it. I say we. It's just me, really. I'm the podcast, but we're a family, really, aren't we? But anyway, head over to ShotScope. Make sure you hit the link in the description. Get your game ready for 2026 and make sure you're first in line for the LM1. Most likely outcome based off of all the factors that we've considered. I'm going to give them in no particular order because I'm then at the end going to give my final prediction. So in no particular order, you've got Corey Connors, Russell Henley, Ludwig Åberg, Hideki Matsuyama, Scottie Scheffler, Jon Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, and Cameron Young. And I will throw in there, again, Patrick Reed. I'm going to swap out... Let's swap out Russell Henley. Russell Henley's out, Patrick Reed in. Just because I feel like that was just a bit of a miss on my front. the more I think about it, it's just appeared on my telly, and I thought, ooh, yeah, that guy's a problem. Don't forget about that guy. So, Patrick Reed. What do you think? Do you think that sounds pretty good? To me, that sounds pretty good. Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, Cameron Young, Ludwig Åberg, Hideki Matsuyama, Corey Connors, and Patrick Reed. You could just quite easily see that, couldn't you? How are they going to end up? Oh, man, it's difficult. The thing with what it sounds like Augusta's going to be like this week, it sounds like it's not particularly warm there, but it's been dry, and they're going to get the greens running really fast, which is going to lead to some drama. Because we already know the greens are crazy, like the slope in the greens and where they set the pins and trying to play it safe, play it away from the trouble and everything like that. Just kind of puts you in some positions where it's really difficult to stop the ball, and especially if they're firm and fast, those guys are really going to be struggling. If it's cold, the ball's obviously not going to be going quite as far. If it's windy, that's going to play a factor in it, but I don't think it's meant to be too crazy wind-wise. I think it's just literally cold, and the greens are going to be fast. So it's going to be a really great test of golf that isn't going to be scuppered too much by the elements. It's just going to be more like play Augusta as it's intended. Really, really difficult. I think that being the case, you're going to need someone with a very well-rounded game, but an elite short game. With that coming into it, I do feel like someone like Ludwig might struggle this week, because it might be a slightly different test to what he's been used to over the past 2 years that he's played the event. 2 or 3. This will be his third year, won't it? Which is unbelievable, the fact that he's literally played 2 events and finished top 10 both times in the Masters. But I just feel like it's going to offer a slightly different test. Again, that's why it's such a shame that both Tiger and especially Phil aren't playing this week, because the knowledge that those guys have of playing this golf course would have come into great effect. So with that being the case, you're going to look for a little bit more of a veteran of Augusta, someone that has experienced it in these conditions before. So for me, that removes a certain few players and probably only leaves players like Hideki, John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, and Patrick Reed. So Hideki, John Rahm, Rory, Scheffler, Patrick Reed. We're down to 5. We've got 5. Okay, that's good. We've made some progress. So now, taking that into account, we're going to look at their recent form. For me, I think it was going to be a step too far for Rory this week. I think with all the media commitments and everything like that that's going to be taken into account, I think he's really going to find it difficult. Oh, Justin Rose has just popped up on my screen as well. Right, scrap that. I didn't think about this nearly enough. I did. I put so much thought into this, and somehow I missed Justin Rose off this list. I really liked Justin Rose leading into this week. I thought the Farmer Insurance win and everything like that that's come into it. For me, there's probably a little bit too much focus on Justin. I think it might be difficult this year. I would love Justin Rose to win a Masters, but it's his 21st time here as well. Let's throw him in. That's a huge miss by me. That's so embarrassing. Huge miss. Justin Rose has to be considered. This is wild. This is what the Masters does. Like, there's so many names there that you just go, wow, they got pedigree over there. And you miss someone like Justin Rose, someone that's coming on the podcast. It's embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Justin. Look, if he wins the Masters, it's probably going to be way more difficult for me to get him on the podcast within the next sort of like month or so, as agreed. So, in many ways, selfishly, probably better if he doesn't win. But also would be amazing for him to win, then come on the podcast as Masters champion. So let's go with that. Look, my heart wants Justin Rose to win. I've been trying to be ruled a little bit more by my head rather than my heart, and that's why this list has come to fruition. But if I'm going by heart, I'm staring at him right now, giving his press conference. Would be unbelievable to see Justin win after the heartache of last year and the fact that everyone was kind of willing Rory on to get it done. And Justin played so well to get back into it and didn't really put a foot wrong in the playoff, just got beat by a better shot. It would be great. So Justin is my heart pick. How about that? Let's go with that. Justin's my heart pick. But again, looking at it, I think you've removed Rory. I think the media commitments are going to be too much this week. I think it's going to take its toll on him. So he's out. Okay, so that leaves 4 guys: Matsuyama, Jon Rahm, Scottie Scheffler, Patrick Reed. I think Scottie probably won't have his best stuff this week, and he'll just fall short. He'll probably finish top 10, as we've discussed, but I think he'll fall short. So Scotty's probably gone. I need to stop looking at this screen in case more people come up, and then I'm like, how did I forget that person? No, Scotty's gone. So that leaves Jon Rahm, Hideki, and of course Patrick Reed. God, it's a tough pick, isn't it? If you're looking at short game, I think Patrick Reed's he's probably one of the best bunker players ever. And you need to be good at the bunkers because you're going to find some. So for me, he gets through. Hideki has got an unbelievable mentality when it comes to that. And Jon Rahm's putting sometimes can be so hot. It can be so good. But equally, if we're looking at consistency across those 3 players, Jon Rahm's probably the one that can blow hot and cold. He's been very consistent so far. This is so hard. They're my top 3. What can be the differentials there? Looking at driving distance, Rahm leads driving distance for sure. And he can hit that draw. He's not as comfortable hitting it though, is he? Hideki equally. Patrick Reed. I'm going to go Patrick Reed. I think Patrick Reed's going to win the 2026 Masters, and it's going to be the yin to Rory's yang of the previous year. And I think it will be quite the picture to see Rory McIlroy. Oh, it's going to be so good. Rory putting the jacket over Patrick Reed's shoulders. Oh, that picture. Like, I think he would see the irony in it and find it quite amusing. And look, he can't do, no one denies Patrick Reed's an unbelievable golfer, but clearly not the most popular guy in the world. But it would be so good, wouldn't it? What a picture that would be. That would be unbelievable. So I'm going to go with that. Taking into factor all the equations and everything, my heart pick is Justin Rose. But my head pick, based on all the factors that we've considered, is going to be Patrick Reed. So there we go. Let's see if that's true or not. I would love to hear your predictions in the comments. Tell me how much of a rubbish job I've done of this, by the way. I've not done this before. I put it together. I wanted to make sure it happened. I did certainly miss a huge one in Justin Rose, but then equally I was taking into account all the factors. Augusta pedigree, he probably should have got in there, but equally, there's been a slight drop off in form since the Farmer Insurance Open, so there could be reasons why he was left out for sure. But heart pick Justin Rose, head pick is going to be Patrick Reed. Would love to hear what your picks are, what you think of that top 10, if you could see that happening. Who have I missed? Would be great to hear as well. Who you think is a huge miss off that list? There's definitely going to be people. It's a big field of players. And most of all, I just hope you enjoy watching the Masters. I hope you really, really enjoy it. I know there's events going on in London. There's Golf Clubber in London that's going to have a lot of people there, all watching the Masters together, everything like that. I should have definitely gone. to that, because it's probably no doubt a fantastic event to network and to meet others in the industry and to, spend time with different creators from different spaces. And it probably would have been a good experience. But for me, the idea of not watching the Masters with my feet up at home, cozy, with a nice beer or a nice coffee and a few snacks, and you cannot get me out of that chair. You cannot get me out of that chair for that. So I will not be there. I was going to do a live stream of it, but then the more I thought of it, the more I thought that was a bad idea of me sitting down, filling my face with sweets and biscuits and beer and chocolate and crisps whilst you're all just watching me. Actually seems quite sort of perverse in many ways. So I won't be doing that. I'm just going to watch it and enjoy it. I hope you watch and enjoy it. There is so much amazing stuff coming up soon. Please make sure, if you're not already, go and follow me on Instagram. There's some really exciting announcements coming soon, which would not be possible without every single one of you that listens. So thank you so, so much. If you haven't already, no pressure, but if you hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, leave the show a rating on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, it massively helps out. We're building something here. It's very, very exciting. Please tell your friends if you think they might enjoy the podcast, if they're somebody that enjoys golf and doesn't mind hearing another idiot rambling on each week about this game, then please feel free to share. But most of all, I'm glad that you're here. And I asked a few weeks ago that if you're listening from different countries, it'd be awesome to see that in the comments. None of you done that, and that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're listening. But again, feel free to tell me where you're watching the Masters. How about that? Let's hear that, and who you're rooting on for as well. So enjoy the Masters. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, whatever you're doing. And I will see you all next week for the next episode of the Birdie Golf Club Podcast.